We're live. Oh boy, we are live, and we're getting ready to rock and roll here. So bear with us, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds or so. We have a pretty cool topic we're talking about today. Be different, not better. Hello. It's Jaime and
Sara.
And
hi to the virtual world.
Yes, hello. This is a special edition of Live with Bottleneck. This is a week in review. A week in review with Jaime and Sara. Love that picture. Sara doesn't, but I do. And today we're going to be talking about it's not up. So rain is off today, and
Jamie's going crazy already.
Yeah, little nuts today. And I'm so glad she took today off because she's been working really hard. And I didn't realize how hard that hard work really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been a while. So we're going to be talking today about being different, not better. Usually I have the little thing I can pop up on the screen, the title there, but being different, not better is what we're going to be talking about. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that up here. I can do something really cool there. Being different, not better. This is what we're talking about today. Being different, not better. See, isn't that neat? Not as fancy as what Raina does, but so yeah, that's kind of be the underlying tone. If you haven't seen a week in review with Sara and Jaime, then basically what we just do is we kind of open up our business, we open up our lives, and we kind of share with you what happens on a weekly basis with regards to our challenges, how we overcame those challenges, or maybe we didn't, and then kind of what we're doing next week. But what we want to do here too is each week we come up with a theme so that we kind of talk about that theme in a certain way as Sara's taking off her boots.
I'm multitasking. This is what I usually do all the time.
You probably can't hear all of the
sorry,
but I can.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so yeah, so be different, not better. I always like to say I am no better than anyone else. I do love saying how different we are. And I think different is, and you know who hit this home for us was Lockhead, Christopher Lockhead. He's all about that. As a matter of fact, the name of his podcast is Follow Your Different. You should go check it out. As long as you're okay with a little bit of cursing, he really has some great content. And he also has Lockhead on Marketing, which is his shorter version, and talks all about cool marketing tactics and category design. He's the author of Play Bigger and Niche Down. He's just an amazing person. But that's where really what we embraced it on, and that's why I think Bottleneck Distant Assistants category design is so different than the virtual assistant world. And what do you think? Actually, I'm going to ask you, and maybe you can answer. What do you think makes a category king or queen?
Well, it's got to be different. It's got to be something that no one has. It's putting a name on something that you do differently than others.
Yeah, because words do matter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it really it's putting a name on something that means something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily who's the first to market in a category. That has its certain advantages. Sure, the person that first came up with this, but it's the first person that can justify or explain the problems facing a certain thing that's highlighted the best. That is going to be the category. And your category, as long as it identifies what that problem is, and you shout that out there to everybody what that problem is, and you have a pretty doggone good product or service, you're not leading with that. You're not selling the product. You're not selling the service. You're creating a category that's designed to eliminate a problem or a pain that someone else is facing. And I think that's what we did with distant assistants. Notice it's not trademarked. It's not trademarked at all, but it is different. And what makes distant assistants different than
virtual assistants?
Virtual assistants.
It's the human aspect of it. There's a human component of a virtual assistant, and that's how we're different, because that's what we focus on. We focus on relationships, not the end monetary result. We want to create relationships, and we want to make whoever needs that assistant their life easier.
Exactly. So the way that we kind of go about explaining this is there's a virtual assistant and there's a distant assistant. Now, if you look back in our history, you're going to see where it used to be Bottleneck virtual assistants, because we had no idea. And since we started really focusing in on what this category design is, being different, not better, we had to figure out, we didn't want to be a small fish in a huge category. Everybody's just fighting for that shelf space for virtual assistants. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to create our own shelf and then have other people setting their books on that shelf, so to speak, right? Using the terminology distant assistant. Now, this is not saying that virtual assistant is bad. It's just not who we are. Mm-hmm. It's not who we are anymore. We've grown, we've learned, we've developed. We're now distant assistants, not virtual assistants. There's a big differentiator. Virtual assistants, in our opinion, are more of a transactional-based relationship. And what does that mean? You can explain what a transactional-based relationship is.
You give me money, I give you some work.
That's pretty much what it is. And through some iterations, this all comes into play. So that is a virtual set. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that's a good thing. If I'm busy, if you're busy and you can't do the mundane task or the graphic design or the web dev or whatever it is, hand that off to somebody that's competent that can. There's a challenge in that. There is a challenge in that we've identified. And that's what kind of inspired us to come up with distant assistants. Again, category designed by Christopher Lockhead and his guys. Go read Play Bigger if you haven't yet. It's an amazing book. But distant assistants is more of an intimate-based relationship. And when I say intimate-based relationship, I don't mean sexy relationships or anything like that. I mean, they know who you are. They understand your tone, your voice. They understand your vision, your mission, your core values, your provocative point of view. They get that. They're an extension of the vision. And the reason why this is so important is because now you're building a relationship. And this doesn't come right away. Like a virtual assistant, when you do that transaction, they don't know your tone. They don't know your voice. Mm-hmm. And that's why copywriting is so hard, because people have to learn who other people are so that they can write with them instead of for them. And that's the same thing that happens with a personal distant assistant. It takes a little bit of time, but they're there for the long haul. These are people that are going to be working within your organization from a remote-based area. Oh, I have a sneeze coming up.
Oh, almost bless you.
From a remote-based area, but they're going to know who you are. For instance, if you were to email me right now, well, not right now because Raina's gone, but if you were to email me right now and she responded to you, you're going to get, maybe it's Jaime, because we understand each other so well. And that's that intimate-based relationship that we're talking about. That's learning the vision. That's embracing the vision, the mission, the core values, the provocative point of view. That's what that is. So there's a huge differentiator in there. We've done some other things to differentiate a distant assistant as well. But to give you kind of an idea, this is kind of the underlying tone that we wanted to talk about today. Be different, not better. And if I could go back, I wouldn't use blue because I guess 85% of all companies use blue logos and all that. And I'm blue everywhere. If you go look at Christopher Lockhead, he's hot pink. Like, he's different. He's practicing what he preaches. So that would have been nice for me to know about 5 or 6 years ago. But what can I say? One of my favorite colors is blue. I guess we could have gone green. Green would have been tough with a green screen. Then we would have been screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're trying to be different. We're trying to create a new category. We're not trademarking distant assistant. I want you to go out and look for your own distant assistant. So that's kind of be different. Don't be better. Don't sell on your product. Sell on your problem. I want to get that home to you. So what were our challenges this week?
Oh, shall I count the ways?
Oh,
Guess
boy.
what it is? It's tax season. Woo!
Let me have a drink.
So those are my challenges this week. And yeah, bank challenges. Oh my Lord. But, it's just a week of work, normal week for me. Do I never come on and do I ever say, I had the most perfect week and there was no glitches, no problems, no challenges? Never.
You know what, though? You're not growing if you're not challenged.
Yep.
So, yeah, thank you for all your hard work this week.
Oh, thank you.
You really did a lot of work. And I feel bad because, again, if you don't know her setup at the house here, I have my own little office. It's the 3rd bedroom, which is kind of cool. I can shut the door because she says I talk really loud. So I do that not to bug her. She's out in the living room, and her office is a wall of plants that go around. And so as I'm walking back to talk to her, because she's so kind, she knocks on my door before I come in to make sure I'm not recording or doing anything like that. I have to knock on the wall as I go out there, and she's like, "Yes," and then I just walk through the plants. It's pretty funny. So she's dealing with that a little bit, and but you did good. I think you overcame a lot of the challenges. We had some. I think everything went pretty smooth. Really, it's just a lot of time spent with banks and trying to fix this or send that in or send this back out, or getting a certificate of good standing is taking a lot longer. So we have to get the original, and they say, it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks. And then we try to talk to the bank. Oh, can you take a copy of it? We need the original, just all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's frustrating, but that's business. That's what you have to do. And does this give me energy? No. Is it something we have to do? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it something we must do? Yes. We can't delegate that, really.
No.
So yeah, it's just, you know what? Here's what I say. If you're spending 80% of the time having the time of your life growing your business and 20% of your time in the funk, in the trenches, that's pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not bad. So that's kind of how we at least how I look at it and say, okay, I got to deal with this. I really don't want to do it, but if I do this and I'm done, I can go back to that 80% again. So that's what kind of motivates me to keep going. What motivates you?
You.
Love this girl.
What motivates me? My office.
Oh yeah, she wants an office. So, fingers crossed. We're looking at making a big decision, personal decision on getting our own place, some land and things like that. And she gets motivated and will send me the occasional text here and there of, "Ooh, look at this! Ooh, look at this! Ooh, look!" And that's kind of exciting. So
and
that
I always
fun.
say, I get that one. Jamie says, "No, I'm going to get out of the car first and run, and I'm going to claim it."
Because we have to go and tag what we want. The person that tags it first gets it. It's going to be a knockdown, elbow flying. We'll probably wear a hockey gear. Scare the living daylights out of the realtor. So we kind of keep things light and fun as well. And Yeah, just have a good time. Just have a good time.
Yep.
So I think some of the challenges I had this week is with the book coming out. By the way, really excited. April 2nd is a big day for us. I'll be talking about that more next week. But April 2nd is going to be a big day in that I start pre-sales on the new book. And this has been a labor of love, but it's been very challenging. And some of the challenges I've had this week was I moved from the developmental editor stage where they help kind of you to write the book. Now I'm at the AE or the acquisitions editor stage where they're going to kind of tell me how bad my writing is and fix everything. But then they also introduced me to the marketing arm and how we're going to start getting the book out there. So the challenges for me was trying to figure out how all those parts are coming together. And I'm still not totally clear on it. It is a little bit overwhelming. And so the first day that started happening, I went out to Sara and cried. And she says, okay, well, what are your priorities? What's more important? Is this really the most important thing you need to do? What about that? Get that off your plate. And I was like, no, yeah, you're right. So she curbed that for me really quick. And so that was a good thing. And it kind of inspired me. So now I've been flowing with that. And that's been a lot of fun. So, and so that was probably one of my biggest challenges. And then had some great conversations with some clients, had some great conversations with some vendors. And yeah, next week, what do you have planned for next week?
Next week, we have something next week. Well, next week we're working, we've got to get some things over to the accountant and, I'm working on a new program. So I hope to have an outline of that in presentable form for the decision maker.
Yes, honey. Well, that's kind of neat. That's coming up. I'm super excited. We're launching our first ever partnership program next Friday. So we'll talk about that as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've never had that before. And I got to send a quick shout out to Send Warm Up. Jason and Mike, you guys have been great over there. And thank you so much for helping us out with that. It's pretty fantastic. We're excited. We can't wait to roll that out there. And I really like working with companies like Send Warm Up because not everything fit into the way that we wanted to do this rollout. And they've been really flexible in working with us and saying, oh, that would be a good idea. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. So they're working on development on their end so that it can kind of be plugged in on our end and still maintain the integrity of our brand on our end as far as continuity moving across, a registration phase. And I just think it's really, really cool that they're bending over backwards and doing such good stuff like that. It's always nice to find good companies. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that I'm excited about for next week is seeing that partnership program roll out. Another thing that I'm excited about for next week is getting some more clarity on the division between Bottleneck Medical and Bottleneck, the two separate entities, and we're supporting one another so much. It's gonna be really cool to see how that works. A big shout out to Glenda and Javelin and Raquel. They've been working really hard on the medical side of things and developing that out. And it's really nice to see how interested everybody is and how much fun they're having with it and seeing the growth happen there. And pretty soon be introducing the HubSpot CRM to the medical division, which is really exciting. The other thing that will be done with next week is our workflows. So we've updated workflows on the new process we're using that has more automation built into it, and it's really fantastic. So the team loves that part of it. So that should be done next week as well. So yeah, a lot of neat things. Our recruitment manager is actively seeking her own assistant, which is really nice, so that she could bring another recruiter in to kind of offset some of the workload on her. And that's going to be incredible because we're getting busier and having to source a lot more people. And mm-hmm. we're really happy to see 9-10 new clients coming on board within this month. So it's pretty it's a nice celebration, and it's nice for the team. They've been working so hard. that they can realize that, oh my gosh, the work that they're doing is becoming fruitful.
Yep. And you have to understand, it's when you come to us, it's not like I need a DA to do my accounting and we say, okay, here you go, bye. When you come to us, we teach you how to create that relationship with that DA so that it's successful. And it's a 90-day. We're holding your hand for 90 days.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And we're getting you to the end result. So you're like, oh, I got a team member now that can take it and run with it.
Yep.
That's so
we prepare you too. So we really, because when you hire somebody, it's there's some work.
A lot of work.
And so when you hire somebody, you want them to be here or up here, right? When you first hire somebody, they're down here. And we try to set those expectations accordingly, because you really have to use the knowledge that you have and get it out of your head and out onto a video, paper, something like that, so that whomever it is that you're hiring knows exactly what you expect, exactly what you're thinking, all of that stuff. So we really work hard with our clients to create an environment that is very positive for that relationship to develop. And so in the beginning, there's a lot more training involved and lifting involved. And, so it's challenging, but in 60, 90 days, you start going, how did I not do this before?
like Jaime today.
Yeah. Great example.
His assistant is off. And Jaime is like, he looked at his inbox and he's like, what happened?
And I'm a big Zero Inbox fan. And as we're doing this, I can see the little tab on I'm getting anxiety. I can see the little tab on the browser there, and it says 9 messages. I'm like, oh. Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. That's what we're having fun with. Anything coming up for you this week?
No, I think it's what you talked about, the medical and the medical side and the distant assistant side, just trying to get a clear lineation between what each is doing.
Yeah, so we have our marching orders. We've got a lot of work. I'm going to be working this weekend a little bit on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, I'm working this Saturday, but we've already talked about this. I'm not just popping this on her. Lesson.
This was part of our prioritizing that we talked about when you came out and you were.
And I was crying because of the book. So this is good because this might be something we can maybe wrap up with. It's important that I talk with her and not just make decisions without letting her know. No matter how big or small they are, I can't come on Saturday morning and say, hey, hon, I need to do some work. I can. And she would say, yes, that's fine. But, or maybe not. But there's also something, just a couple of days earlier to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. And we talk about it. Well, maybe you work a little bit this weekend. Okay. That's huge. And that's how you know this is such a rock solid relationship, in that we communicate like that. And do either of us want me working or Sarah working? Not really. Mm-hmm. We want to go have fun. It's going to be sunny on Saturday, for crying out loud. I want to go ride a motorcycle. And maybe I do still to get a little breather. But it's just like, man, have a little bit of communication there and set the expectations. So this is good spouserly advice. Is that a word? Spouserly? I'm going to call it that. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Those are brownie points. Okay. If you have any questions, let us know. What do we have coming up, Miss Sara?
Take it away, Jaime.
I knew she was going to say that. We're launching next week too, the all new BTV, Bottleneck Television. So you're going to have to tune in. We're going to be showing you, we'll be coming out with new graphics, all kinds of stuff like that, where you can go and you subscribe to Bottleneck TV. It's actually on YouTube, but if some things don't work out on YouTube, it's still going to be branded BTV. And that's the important thing to take from this. Bottleneck Television, where you can see this episode and hundreds of other things that we have going on with Bottleneck, other interviews we've done, tutorials that we're doing, all kinds of cool stuff. Please go and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're just launching this over the course of the next week. And I think at this point we have 49 or so subscribers, 50 subscribers, something like that. And we really want to build this up. We're big proponents of video, obviously. So if you like us, show us some love, go over and subscribe. You can click on the bell icon as well in the upper right-hand corner of the YouTube so that you can be notified whenever new videos come out. You'll be the first to know. Plus, you're going to get some cool things coming out that we don't even know what we're doing yet. Coming up on Tuesday, March 23rd at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. This is cool. We're going to be talking with Brenda Batista-Mullihan about culture eats strategy with Bottleneck Advisors. So we're going to be talking some more culture, company culture, with Brenda Batista-Mullihan. Again, that's Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021 at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Live with Bottleneck. And yeah, just one thing. We are HIPAA compliant, Bottleneck Metal. Had to throw that in there.
That's
we are HIPAA compliant.
Yep.
HIPAA compliant. HIPAA compliancy alert. Oh, we love that. Okay. Anything else before we wrap on?
No. Thank you for being such an awesome husband.
I love that woman. She's amazing. All right. Bye for now.